Hello and welcome to LifeClub presented to you by Tieke. Through LifeClub, we work with young learners like you in nurturing your career and character, the two most important aspects of your life. This Saturday evening, we are excited to go live and share with you how to groom your talent, like late Lata Mangeshkar. If you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, please take a moment and do it right now so that when we go live every Saturday evening, you will be notified. Or when we upload a live lesson in our YouTube channel, you will get an alert. So please take a moment and subscribe to our YouTube channel right now. When Thomas Edison was a boy, his teachers told him he was too stupid to learn anything. Isaac Newton did very poorly in his school as well. Albert Einstein was 4 years old before he could speak, and he was 7 years before he could read anything. A newspaper editor fired Walt Disney because he told that Walt Disney did not have good ideas. He was not creative. Some people think talent is born. The often told story of the great musician and legend Mozart playing piano at the age of 3 and composing music at the age of 5 reinforces such beliefs. But here's the rest of that story. Mozart's father was a successful musician, composer, and an instructor. He was devoted to teaching Mozart and helping him practice hard and achieve perfection in his music. Despite all this, Mozart did not produce his first masterwork until his early 20s. After about 15 years of practice and top-notch instruction from his father, Mozart did it. Late Lata Mangeshkar too was introduced to music at a very young age. She recorded her first song at the age of 13 for a Marathi film. But it wasn't just an early exposure to singing that mattered more than her efforts to grooming her gift of singing. In LifeClub this Saturday evening, let's learn how to groom talent looking into the life of late Lata Mangeshkar. Lata Mangeshkar ji was born in 1929. She passed away a few days ago on February 6th, 2022. She was an Indian playback singer and also an occasional music composer. She is widely considered to have been one of the greatest and most influential singers in India. Her contribution to Indian music in a career spanning 7 decades gained her a number of titles such as the Nightingale of India, Voice of the Millennium, and Queen of Melody. People celebrated her music and her singing, especially to an extent that she was hailed as the Queen of Indian Bollywood music for very many years. Lata Mangeshkar was introduced to singing at a very young age. She recorded songs in over 36 Indian languages and a few foreign languages, though primarily she used to sing only in Hindi, Bengali, and Marathi. She also sang in English, Russian, Dutch, and even Swahili. She received several accolades and honors throughout her career. In 1989, the Dada Saheb Phalke Award was bestowed on her by the Government of India. In 2001, in recognition of her contributions to the nation, she was awarded the Bharat Ratna, India's highest civilian honor. She is the only second female singer to receive this honor. France also conferred the highest civilian honor on Lata Mangeshkar in the year 2007. An unfathomable talent gifted with a divine voice that held not only the millions of her fans, but also generations of the greatest of maestros from both the classical and popular music in absolute trial for over very many decades. She was a veritable personification of melody in its unaltered form. There was nobody quite like her, and there will be not anybody like her. This is how she was celebrated some time back after her passing away. The singer whose voice could stretch an impressive 4 octaves, that's how high she could go in her singing, is believed to have recorded thousands of songs in more than 30 languages, I told you, from Hindi to Urdu to Tamil to Bengali, as well as her native Marathi. In her career for about 7 decades, one thing that she never failed to do was to groom her talent of singing. She remained relevant in an industry for about 70 odd years, in spite of many young artists coming up, only because of the way she could practice and prepare herself to be the best talent available for anybody who would want her to sing in their movies. Lata Mangeshkar always prioritized grooming her talent and being present at the best form of her voice all the time in her lifetime. Well, that's a lesson for us to pick this evening, grooming talent. Now, that's what we're going to do in the next few minutes and understand how we can groom talent ourselves. Now, before we go into that, the very first question is, what is grooming talent all about? Gifted individuals become talented when they take support and encouragement, especially from parents, teachers, to start using their natural gifts to learn, concentrate, and practice and excel in it. For example, if you are a gifted musician and get the opportunities to learn a musical instrument, that might develop a talent for playing that instrument in you. Many things influence whether your gifted natural ability becomes a talent or not. These things include family values, educational opportunities, personality, and the motivation you get from people around you. It also includes health and the chance opportunities that will determine whether you come out and shine as a good talent. Usually, we can notice talent in a person from about 6 years onwards, but sometimes talents show up only during the teenage of a person. On identifying one's talent, it's important to start grooming that talent, showing maximum commitment and all the required efforts. Now, how do you identify a talent in yourself? Everyone is born with their own unique gifts and abilities. In such case, how do we identify them ourselves? Discovering your abilities and interests early on can help you better. It can help you get support from your learnings inside the classroom and outside of it. Here are a few ways in which you can help yourself identify a talent in you. I'm going to give you 3 simple ways. Number 1 is to sign up for as many extracurricular activities as possible. One of the best ways to discover your abilities is to engage in wide variety of dramatically different activities. You can do this through formal or informal means. This way, not only will you be able to see how you perform in different types of situations, but you will also be able to see what you are most interested in. Consider signing up for athletic activities, artistic activities, and intellectual activities. While having signed up for many extracurricular activities is a good thing, make sure that you're not overcommitted and still enjoy doing what you do and have fun. Make sure you play with peers and friends of different culture and socioeconomic levels. You never know when someone from a different background might introduce an activity that you will definitely be excelling at in your life. Secondly, talk to your parents and maybe your favorite teacher about what you like to do. Oftentimes, you can articulate the best insight into your own abilities to your parents or your favorite teacher. Don't discount the fact that they may actually know you and your talents better than anyone else. Talk to them about what academic subjects you think you are best at, as well as which you enjoy the most. Make sure you differentiate between enjoyment and talent. Tell them if you think you're good at any sports or arts or music or anything else you enjoy the most. You may not be able to articulate what you are good at. However, if you enjoy certain activities, this may point them to a talent you are unaware of, and they might help you to discover and improve upon it. Thirdly, observing yourself would help you identify the talent within you. Take time to observe how you do whatever you do. Do not assume what you're doing is unimportant or meaningless. You would act and play in ways that may reflect differing natural individual interests, intelligence, and abilities. When you observe yourself, you would be able to understand this. Try and make a journal of interesting things that you did when you were at play. Like, are you thoughtful and deliberate or dramatic and emotional? This could give you great insight into your abilities. Observe yourself on how you do different types of activities. On doing this journal, discuss with your parents or your favorite teacher about it. Observing yourself, making notes about it, and going and talking to somebody would definitely lead towards you identifying the talent within you. Now, in such a case, if you have identified the talent within you, how to groom the talent? We looked at the life of Lata Mangeshkar, and we learned that she never missed to groom her talent during her years of singing. Now, the big question here is how to groom talent. I'm going to give you a few ways in which you can groom your talent yourself. Well, this is going to be a good starting point for you, but much more is needed as you progress forward as efforts and commitment. But when you start following some of the things that I'm going to tell you how to groom your talent, you will be able to start immediately and go on to excel in your talent. First and foremost, be sure of why you do what you do. What it comes down to simply knowing your purpose. Why do you sing? Why do you act? Or why do you want to write? Why do you make people laugh? Taking time to answer this question for yourself and giving it the right formulation will lay solid ground for you to build on in your pursuit of growth and empowerment. The tricky part is that some of us look at external factors to answer this question, while it should be all about discovering and celebrating our own personal identity. What you need to look for is your intrinsic motivation. When you have clearly defined your why for yourself, it will help you focus on what is most important. It will boost your determination and give you the kind of resilience you need to continue when you experience setbacks or obstacles in grooming your talent. Because trust me, the obstacles are right there waiting for you to make your move, and you will need your purpose to help you face them when they come against you. So be sure of your why in order to be able to effectively groom your talent and face the obstacles that raise against you. Secondly, be sure of understanding the technique which is critical for the talent that you possess. Figure out what you need to learn in order to take your natural talent to the next level. What are the techniques required that will enable you to improve your performance? Do some research about your craft. Are there other variations or forms? What are the studies that have been done regarding your discipline? Just look at the life of Lata Mangeshkar ji. During the 70 years that she performed in the sphere of singing, she came across different technologies. She came across different kinds of styles and methods of singing, but she was able to master all of them and stay relevant. Let's say you are a talented dancer, find out the basics. What are the genres? Evaluate your skills against them. What category do you qualify for? What is your dance style called as? What other forms would you like to learn? This is how you create common ground for being able to collaborate with others as well. And it's also a way to protect your abilities. I know very talented singers with the most beautiful voices who end up with a sore throat or lose their voice after every performance because they have not invested time in learning the right way to sing. So, taking time to master techniques is of utmost importance here. Also, keep in mind that this is not a one time thing. The more you learn, the more you will find room for improvement. But only when you know the possibilities, you will reach for more. So, find out what you should be able to do about that. Mastering the techniques for your talent is a critical part of how you groom your talent. Thirdly, create your own formula. Learn the rules like a pro so that you can break them like an artist. This is a quote by Pablo Picasso. I have my doubts about that, but the statement does make a lot of sense. When you have spent some time learning skills and techniques for your talent or craft, after a while, you will get to the conclusion that you don't need them at all. That's when you start putting together your own system for getting results and filter out what works for you. We may have similar talents, but each authentic soul has a personal touch that makes his, her work unique. That personal touch and your most beneficial lessons brought together create your own special formula. Teachers can show you how they got it done and they can try to get you to duplicate their work. But remember that you have your own blueprint. Their journey may look like yours, but you have another path to follow. So whatever you chose to put in that bag you packed before hitting the road, make sure to take those tried and proven tools that work for you. Make sure you bring your own formula while you nurture your talent. Fourthly, take constructive advice and just stop there. We sometimes find ourselves in a predicament where even when we have reached the capability of standing on our own, we still feel the need to turn to our mentors for advice or feedback. This is okay. There's nothing wrong with getting feedback on your work from those who have taught you how to do it. Also, because it is believed to be normal to need some validation from your teachers, but asking permission to do what you want to do should never be the case. That's a category of power which is assigned to you and only you. And let's put it out there. Any teacher or mentor who doesn't guide you to fully rely on your own strength cannot be trusted. Whenever you are certain you have what it takes to do, by all means, start your journey. Don't wait for anyone's opinion. Don't ask for their votes on your decision. The only permission you need is yours. Just go and groom your talent. Don't wait for anybody's permission. Finally, it's all about the work. The only thing that matters is your work. Keep doing it, keep working hard. This is something I had to learn the hard way, being someone who's always tried to see the bigger picture and navigate within the framework of what I'm doing. It's also a good thing, but if we are not careful, we can get caught up with everything in that framework except that which is our actual craft. What I take away in the end is that when it comes to developing your talents, you have to put in hours and just keep doing the work that is needed. Everything else is next on the list, but your work, your actual work, needs to be a top priority. Of course, this is not the same situation with everybody. Sometimes we are willing to put in the work, but not ready to do it. Then when we are ready, life happens, and all of a sudden, we find ourselves in a place where we are forced to change priorities. But regardless of what the situation may be, you have to find the balance which will enable you to produce the results. You may have to postpone your goals, and allowing yourselves to slow down is okay as well, but do not stop. Forget the obstacles, forget the time it took. In the end, your work will speak for itself. So just go on doing your work. Well, we looked into the life of Lata Mangeshkar. We learned how to identify the talents that we have within ourselves. And I gave you a few quick tips to start off how you can start grooming your talent yourself. That's all we have for today. Thank you for joining us. If you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, please take a moment and do it right now so that when we go live every Saturday, you will get an alert. And when we upload a live lesson in our YouTube channel, you will be notified. Thank you once again. We wish you have a great weekend and a great week ahead.